hatchlings, I just ran up the stairs. Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the stream. Today we're reading fanfiction. You guys sent me some fanfiction suggestions in the Discord, and I'm gonna read a couple of them. I picked a couple to read depending on one, personal interest, and two, stream Twitch safeness. For now, I picked two. I picked a short one and a long one. Whether or not we finish the long one depends on how long it takes to read it, but generally that's what we're going for. This is kind of a feeler stream. We're testing, seeing how it goes, maybe determining if anything different needs to be done for next time, that sort of thing. If we finish and there's still like a ton of time left, I do have a backup game. We'll play that game that I missed Wednesday, my Wednesday stream that I was gonna do, because I had to study. Womp womp. But yeah, I hope y'all are doing well today. Hope y'all are comfortable. Have a snack, have a drink, have your sanity, because you're gonna lose it. Maybe. I don't know. The exams go well. So I had 3 midterms. One of them I'm waiting to hear back. The other one I got a 96 on. The other one did not go so well, but there is a take-home portion, so there is some salvaging left to be done. It is going to take me, like, all of my spring break, though. But that's okay. I tried my best, and most of them went really well. So we're here. We're going to read some shit. It's going to be fun. I know I'm on this page, but I kind of want to start with the small one, the short one. So let's get into it. Good shit. Thank you. I'm really proud of myself. I think I did really well on the one I'm waiting to hear back on too. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, let's get into it. I want to lose my voice. It's this one. We're reading this one. Would Kira have gay sex? This, I don't remember who suggested it, but a hatchling suggested it, and I thought it was funny. A side note, for future suggestions for fanfiction readings, not safe for work I'm okay with. It's just not like explicit like smut reading. But this one, like this kind of not safe for work, like this is just right. This is perfect. I glanced over it beforehand and it'll be good. All right. I have not seen Death Note, by the way, so I don't know if I will do their voice as well. My brother has. I should have my brother read this. Anyway, would Kira have gay sex? By Itiaskia. Summary. L puts light in a compromising position. Also, let me know if you can't see it. I tried to format it so that you could like see everything that I'm looking at. Okay. Light, do you want to have sex? Light almost choked on a sip of coffee. Think. He had to play this strategically. If I immediately said no, he'll definitely think I'm Kira. It's too obvious. Would Kira have gay sex? Kira would never let himself be in a position so vulnerable, never mind gay or not. Though, would he? Kira, albeit drawn from me, is a concept to exist in a divorced state. While I may not jump at the opportunity for sex, someone such as Kira may see it as a show of power. So if I decline Kira, Elle may suspect that I don't want to come off as too power-hungry and accuse me of being Kira. I have to go through with it. I don't have a good enough reason to reject him. But if I say yes, that still points towards Kira, who could use the argument that a hole is a hole and therefore top. No, if I suggest topping, he'll definitely think I'm Kira. But wait, that's it. I'll take his dick up my ass, proving that I'm neither homophobic nor Kira. Elle, in the meantime, ate his cake without so much as giving it a second thought. His trap was well laid and well prepared. If Lei asks me to top, he's definitely Kira. Elle didn't arrest him until after they screwed. Yay! This is basically Death Note. Short, sweet, to the point. I like it. It's great. A+. Also, I do know the little clip that they might have gotten taking the dick up my ass from. Is that the the thing where he's like, I'll take this potato chip and eat it. I'll take his dick up my ass. Fanfic. Oh, hey, Jaylee. Good timing. Uh-oh. We're reading fanfiction. Love wins. And this one was also suggested by a hatchling, and it's much longer. It's 25 chapters and 35,944 words. Sonic High School. This is for you, Stories. This is dedicated to you. If you guys think of any other fan fictions and wanna run it by, do let me know. We are gonna refine the process a bit, but yeah. All right, so this is called Sonic High School. It's supposedly a classic. It seemed pretty well known from what the hatchlings have made it seem like. Maybe? I don't know. It seems like a well-known thing. All right, so it's by Dank Matter. Sonic High School features Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy. Is it Rogue? Rouge? It's Rouge. Rouge the Bat. Rouge Espio? I don't know who that is. And more in crazy high school drama, passionate romances, and crazy cliffhanger endings. It is known as the most addictive story online, and it is the ultimate Sonic story about high school. Contains no graphic descriptions, and all the high school students are 18 years old. All right. Chapter 1, Sonic's Journal. Oh man, am I gonna have to do the voice the whole time? Sonic woke up and looked at the clock. 7 o'clock. Oh wait, 7 o'clock it said, and Sonic screamed, "Whoa! I am late for school! I have to get to school now!" said Sonic, jumping out of bed. Sonic put his clothes on really fast and ran out of his room because he is fast. "No time for breakfast," said Sonic as he ran past Sonic's mom. "You will regret this," said Sonic's mom, leering at him from the kitchen stove, wearing aprons and oven mitts on her hands. Sonic did not care. He was late. Sonic ran outside and ran to the bus stop where people were getting on the bus. "Tails, Knuckles, wait for me," said Sonic as he ran towards the bus. "Hey, Knuckles, it's Sonic," said Tails to Knuckles at the bus stop. I don't know how Knuckles sounds. "He is late," said Knuckles to Tails before getting on the bus. Sonic ran so fast to the bus, and he got on the bus after Tails. Multiple aprons to stay extra clean, real. "Thank you, I'm glad I sound chilly dog." "Just in time," said Sonic, huffing and puffing like he was doing the Cupid shuffle for the first time. Sonic sat down next to Tails, and Knuckles sat behind them, taking up both seats. "I'm so bad," said Knuckles, laughing because he sat where two people could sit. Knuckles did this every day, and no one bothered him, but they all knew it was against the rules of both man and God. The bus started and drove at the school and parked, and they got out. This is fantastic. "We're at school now," said Tails. "It is time to go to class." Sonic was also at school, so he went to his first class of the day, English class. Sonic did not like English very much, but he did not like any class very much that was not about running and going fast, which is what Sonic does best. Sonic got to his class and sat down in his seat. "It's journal day," said Sonic's English teacher, Mrs. Lesson. Mrs. Lesson was tall and white and had gray hair, and she was not pretty. "Take out your journals and put them in a pile, and I will read one of your entries to the class." Sonic took out his blue journal and ran to the front quickly and put his journal on her desk and ran back to his desk, all with his head down and not talking or looking at anyone. Sonic was so fast that he did it first. Everyone else did it afterwards and slower. Mrs. Leston grabbed a journal from the pile, and Sonic knew it was his because it looked just like Sonic's journal. Sonic knew this because he had written it so many times. It was crazy. Mrs. Lesson opened a totally random page, and it was the worst page she could pick. She began to read. "Dear Journal, I called the doctor today about a problem. I have a problem with my balls. They're itchy, and it is difficult to sit still with them because they are so itchy. I have to back up against stucco surfaces and rub up and down on them to relieve the itchiness. No creams have worked. Creams only make my balls sweat smell like the breath of a thoroughbred, and I think Amy, my girlfriend, noticed. I hope my doctor calls. Love, Sonic." "Oh no, stop reading," said Sonic, but he reacted too late because it was already read all of it. Everyone in class laughed, and Sonic felt like an idiot asshole because now everyone knows all about his ball problems. Sonic felt his rage build up inside him like a pool of lava in a volcano. "Stop laughing at me! Don't tell anyone!" shouted Sonic, but everyone was laughing so loud that they did not hear him, and Sonic was just so embarrassed and mad and sad, but more embarrassed, so he ran out of the class fast. Sonic ran to his locker and opened it and screamed into it. Wah! He screamed, "This sucks!" and curse words, too. How do you unsub? You're stuck with me. You're stuck here. "What is the problem?" said Tails. "Are you mad?" said Tails. Sonic was mad, so he nodded. You should... Wait, I don't know who's saying this. Oh, "You should tell everyone that it is okay to have problems with your balls and that they probably have problems that they do not want everyone to know about too, so stop laughing at me." Sonic thought Tails was right because Tails was smart. Knuckles was there too. So he said, "Sonic, what is this I heard about you're having problems with your penis and balls?" Sonic was so mad again, so he punched Knuckles and ran away. Where Sonic ran to was his next class. It is now second period, so it was okay. And that class was history class. Sonic did not care about history class. "Hey, Amy," said Sonic. "Check me out." And Sonic did a dance move. "Wow, cool, let's kiss," said Amy, and Sonic and Amy kissed right there in the class, and some of the other people in the class watched, but the teacher wasn't there yet, so they didn't get in trouble. And who's gonna tell Sonic he can't kiss his girlfriend in class? Amy kissed Sonic so hard that he was thinking, "Let's have sex," but he didn't say it because the teacher would show up by the time they started to have sex in history class. Sonic kissed back really hard, and it was sexy to everyone. In class, brother? My gosh. Okay. Interesting. Bro, can't wait. That's what I'm saying, dude. Just wait until, like, after school. The teacher... You're losing. The teacher arrived and they did class, but Sonic just looked at Amy the whole time, who was sitting next to Rouge. Amy and Rouge talked and they looked at Sonic sometimes and laughed. And Sonic thought Amy was telling her about how awesome Sonic kissed her, but it was not. Rouge was telling Amy about Sonic's gay ball problems, and Amy was Sonic's girlfriend, but she thought it was just the funniest thing ever. Class ended and Sonic went to Amy quick and did not stop on the way. "Hey, Amy, why do you go telling Rouge about how hard we kiss?" said Sonic with a smile on his face that meant he did not care that Amy did this and really wanted her to because it made him look cooler. "Actually, Rouge was telling me about the problems with your balls and penis and butthole that everyone found out about in your English class." Wow, Sonic was surprised. He did not know what to say. They add something new every time. First it was balls, and then it was the hole bits, and now the buttholes in there too. Oh my gosh. I'm losing my mind. I wouldn't know what to say. After the prom, the rest of the day for Sonic was awful. So bad it was that Sonic went home and went right to the bathroom and took a big poop. It was a mad poop because it went out so fast. It shooted out of his butthole so fast that it was like a gun shooting. His poop stunk so much that even the neighbors could smell it, and they all had a meeting at night about what to do about it, and they decided they would just put fans on outside, and if it really started to smell again, they would do something else. So Sonic pooped and went up to his room and shouted into his pillow, "I hate everything!" Sonic shouted loud and he heard a knock at his door. "What's wrong, Sonic?" asked Sonic's mom. "Nothing," said Sonic. "Okay, just keep it down because I'm trying to watch the TV," said Sonic's mom to Sonic and left without saying anything else. Sonic was in his room still, so he looked out to the window and saw Tails flying there with this flying Tails. "Sonic, are you okay?" asked Tails. "I was worried about you, Sonic." Sonic was less mad because Tails was always nice and smart and didn't care that Sonic left his porns around his room so he could think about kissing and doing sex on Amy when he wasn't with Amy. "Please be happy," said Tails. "Are you there?" Sonic went to the window and opened the window. Sonic grabbed Tails and put him on the bed because Sonic is strong too. "This day was the worst," said Sonic. "Everyone thinks I am a gay loser all because I gave them my journal." Sonic cried a little and Tails put his hand under his face to catch his tears. Tears can stain a carpet. Tails hugged Sonic and said, I am always here for you. The prom is tonight also. Wow, I forgot, said Sonic. Sonic ran to his closet fast and pulled out his prom uniform, it's a tuxedo, and put it on faster. Is our limo here yet, Tails? Said Sonic while looking at Tails. Yes, said Tails right back. Let's go. And Sonic went outside with Tails, who was also in prom clothing, and they went outside and got in the limo. The limo is broken, said the limo driver, who looked like a person but darker colored. Sonic and Tails got out of the limo and asked the limo driver if they could fix it. Nope, the limo is broken entirely, said the limo driver. So Sonic grabbed Tails' hand and said, let's go, and ran all the way to the prom, which was on an island called Ghost Island. Is Sonic taking Tails to the prom? You'd think. They're not getting I guess they're taking each other. This place is scary, said Tails. Ghost Island was really scary. It was shaped like a skull and everything looked like it was dead. Sonic looked at Tails. Yeah, it is, said Sonic. Why would they put the prom on this island? Why would they put the prom on this island, said Tails. I don't see anyone else from school here. Tails and Sonic were both worried about it all. Sonic and Tails walked forward and there was a haunted house. Sonic and Tails went into the haunted house and it was spooky. Sonic saw a ghost and Tails saw a mummy. There was a man laughing. I don't know how Eggman sounds. Ha ha, Sonic and Tails, now you're both here and fallen right into my trap, said the man laughing. The man looked like a fat, immature... Okay, it was Eggman. Eggman, why you're here? Asked Sonic and shouted at Eggman. Are you here for the Chaos Emeralds? Sonic shook his fists at Eggman and Tails ran at him, but what an idiot he was because a cage fell down from the top of the sky and trapped Tails. You are doomed now, said Eggman. Welcome to a graveyard of you. Sonic was shocked but did not run forward because he did not want to get caught too. But what if Eggman did not have another cage? Sonic did not know, so he went to the side into a different room. This room was smaller and had carpets and wallpaper. It was still scary, though. I am also lost. Sonic said, I need to find a way out and save Tails. And he walked into a door that was on the wall. Next thing, said Sonic, and he came out of the room into the same room he was in. This is a haunted house, so you always come back to the same place, said Sonic, thinking of famous saying he saw once on the wall of a Walgreens where it was written. Eggman laughed and pointed at Sonic. I kissed Amy and now you can never date her again because I am going to do sex to her tonight. No, this cannot be real, said Sonic. Sonic knew that he had to do something, but what? Most infamous bad fics were written in the 2000s, and boy, does it show. Was this written in the 2000s? I didn't even see. Oh my gosh. 2018. Huh. Oh, this is a re-upload. Makes sense. Chapter 3, the two most important people. Sonic ran the fastest right to Dr. Eggman, right through his traps, and jumped at the floating platform that Eggman was standing on. I'm coming for you, said Sonic, and he jumped up, right to the platform and got so close but fell because it was just too high to reach even for Sonic. Sonic said, damn, and ran up the staircase that was in the middle of the big room that were under Eggman. Sonic ran to the top, and at the top he jumped again from a higher spot, and this time reached the platform because it was easier to get to it. Wow. Now you are mine, shouted Sonic right to Eggman in his ear. I am not going to fall this easily, said Eggman, who then grabbed a crystal remote control out of his pocket and pressed a button on it that made a dome of lasers around Eggman. Get out of here, yelled Eggman. I am Eggman, and I will have my way with the treasures of this island, said Eggman. Eggman flew up higher on his platform, and Sonic had already fell from the lasers that were on the floating platform, so Sonic didn't get to go too. Eggman disappeared into a purple and black portal at the top of the ceiling, and Sonic was left at the bottom of the room on the middle of the stairs. I was thinking that. I'm like, when are we gonna get Shadow in here? Shadow needs to say, damn, is he in this? Oh, he will be in here. Okay. I gotta get to Shadow for stories. Amy still has to be here somewhere, and I really need to get Tails out of that locked cage, said Sonic, thinking about what he should do next. Sonic ran up the stairs really fast and down the hallway at the top of the stairs on the second floor. Sonic picked a door and ran into the door. The room Sonic ran into had a big picture of an old man on it, and he looked just so old that it was like seeing a skeleton right there. Sonic said, "This man probably died ages ago and left all his money from being in real estate to his sons who build this place." Sonic thought this was not the right room to be in, so he left it and went into the next room. That's what you call environmental storytelling. I can't wait for Shadow to break down a wall and damn all over the place. I want him to have a gun. This was the right room to be in, Sonic knew immediately. There was a big red... There was a big red bed, and Amy was tied with rope around her feet and hands, and there was another rope around her head with a lock in her mouth so she couldn't open it or say anything at all. Sonic ran right to the bed without doing anything before doing that and untied Amy with his Sonic speed. "I'm so glad you're here," said Amy. "This prom is not turning out like I hoped it would when I bought this dress." Amy was wearing a pretty red dress that was like what she normally wears but longer, and there were 2 flowers on the shoulders. Amy's dress also made her boobs look bigger, Sonic noticed. Sonic thought for just a moment that this was the perfect moment to get her to give sex to him, but he did not do it because Tails still needed help. That's a gentleman. "Where's the key to open Tails' cage?" said Sonic to Amy. "We need to open Tails' cage. He can't get out of the cage. He can't get out the cage." "I saw Eggman putting the key in a safe behind the picture in the room you were just in," said Amy. "So let's get to it. Or let's go get it." Amy and Sonic ran to the next room, and Sonic got there first. He is the faster one in the relationship. Sonic punched his big, strong hand right through the painting like a bodybuilder and found a safe behind the painting. "The safe needs a password," said Sonic. "What could it be?" Sonic thought long and hard about everything he knew about Eggman. Sonic knew Eggman was a gay asshole who always ruined Sonic's plans to be the hero, and now he ruined Sonic's prom. Sonic tapped on his brain and thought harder. They really liberally use gay to call people stupid. This is very early 2000s. Yep. Maybe the password is his name. Oh, maybe the password is his name, said Amy. It was not, and Sonic knew it before Sonic put it into the safe lock. "I love her for her body," thought Sonic. Sonic thought harder and had an idea. Jeez, Sonic! What if the password is Sauxlavarume? Finally shouted Sonic at Amy next to him. Amy, who was there, said, "What does that mean?" Amy, Sonic's girlfriend, was confused. "It's Chaos Emeralds backwards. What he really wants, but messed up so we would not guess it," screamed Sonic, so happy. Sonic typed the password into the safe, and would you know it, it popped open and there was this big key, so Sonic took it. Sonic ran down the stairs, and then Amy did, and Sonic opened Tails' cage, and Tails got out. "I'm so glad to be safe one again. Thank to you, Sonic. The day is saved." Tails was smiling bigger than a crocodile having a silly dream. Not true. Crocodiles having a silly dream smile the biggest, but Sonic was not. "What is wrong, Sonic? Everything is... Oh. What is wrong, Sonic? Everything is right now," said Sonic. "No, it isn't," said Sonic, so mad and sad. "Eggman got away without a real punishment for what he did." Sonic shook his face at the sky, thinking about how Eggman slipped away like a slippery balloon that Sonic let go of. "But we are all safe," Amy said. "That is what really matters." Sonic figured right then that Amy's superpower must be being nice, because, like he knew before, it wasn't being smart, which Tails was best, and Sonic is also good at too. Sonic did not even think about how his day at school was bad anymore because his balls did not really even itch anymore. Sonic laughed, Tails laughed, Amy laughed, and they went home ready for the next day of high school. That was a suck-ass prom. Sonic can have a conversation with himself. Yeah, slippery balloon. Alright, chapter 4, getting a date. Alright. Sonic did like in the first chapter and went to school again. Now it's lunchtime and Sonic was in the lunchroom. Sonic was telling all of the people at his table, who were Tails, Knuckles, Shadow, Espio, and Charmy B, about what did happen yesterday, but Tails already knew, so he was nodding his head like a good friend. "You should have seen it," said Sonic. "I was in the haunted house and I shot Eggman, but I let him get away right before I could have killed him. Sonic laughed and Tails laughed at the same time. Knuckles said, "You should stop going on these cool adventures because high school's more important," said Knuckles, and Sonic knew he was right because it's called Sonic High School and it should be more about the high school part. So Sonic asked them all what they're up to. "Well, I am entering the science competition," said Tails. "To win the science competition, I have to come up with the best invention, and my invention is this invisibility hat. It makes you invisible, but I can't do it right now because I have to make sure it works perfect for the science competition." Tails was so smart that Sonic knew he would win the science competition because Tails is like Einstein? Einstein? Hey, what's good, Graph? Welcome. We're reading some fanfiction. "Nerd," shout Knuckles right into Tails' ear. What a bad guy. "I am just hanging out and not going to class because I want to cause trouble," said Knuckles. Knuckles was so bad that he would cause trouble. Sonic thought Knuckles was a fuck. Oh my gosh. Shadow was next, and he was badder than Knuckles, but in a different way. "I'm not going to be around much longer." Oh, wait. "I'm not going to be around much longer," said Knuckles. He always did ellipses at the end of what he was saying because it was mysterious. Oh, I think that was supposed to be Shadow. "Where are you going?" said Tails because he was curious. "I'm going to kill my parents," said Shadow. See, this is how Shadow is worse than Knuckles. He did serious bad things. At least at the end of the day, Knuckles could sleep. Shadow was too dark for that. Don't be Knuckles, don't be a fuck. I know, we need him to say damn more. Alright. I don't know how SBO sounds. I'm gonna go try out for the football. What do I do for him? What voice? I'm gonna go try out for the football team, said SBO. SBO is athletic like Sonic, but not as fast, but he had a horn on his nose that was good for attacking people in front of him, so Sonic thought he would be good at football. I'm gonna go try out for the play, said Charmy Bee. Charmy Bee was loud and singing always. I need to be louder for that then. Oh. "You're annoying, so you should do great." "Do not hurt my feelings," said Charmy. Charmy was used to being hectored, so he was able to remove himself from his potent fury. "Did you see Rouge just now? She's looking so hot in her tiny bra." SBO obviously wanted to kiss her deep. "You should ask her out," said Sonic. "But the prom was yesterday," said SBO. "Well, that is okay. You can date anytime," said Sonic. "Oh," said SBO. "Well, then I am going to kiss and sex her tonight." SBO was like a little boy looking at his mom's boob for the first time. Sonic and Tails together were both looking at each other and they wanted to help SBO. "We are going to help you get a date," said Sonic and Tails at the same time simultaneously. "And we are going to do it right now," said Sonic and Tails. Sonic and Tails got up and both grabbed one of SBO's arms and dragged him across the room. Sonic did most the dragging because he is stronger and put him right at Rouge. "What is this about?" Wait, what? She needs a more sexy voice. How do you, what do you gotta do like a, "What is this about?" said Rouge with a questioning sound. She blinked her eyelids quickly like a race car. "What do you want? Why are you here?" SBO looked right at her, into her eyes with a passion like 100 barking dogs and said, "Rouge, will you go out with me?" SBO was sweating and there were drops of sweat dropping of his hands in front of her. "I don't know," said Rouge and looked at SBO. Rouge gave him a sexy look that made SBO feel in love. "Please do it," said Sonic and Tails together at the same time. "Okay, we can go on a date tonight," said Rouge. Sonic and Tails and SBO were stoked and high-fived right there. By the time this night ended, one of them would have done their first sex. "Now here's the hard part," said SBO. How do I put sex in her? Oh, wait. How do I put sex in her without getting in trouble?" Sonic and Tails looked at each other and thought, uh-oh. And SBO walked out while holding onto Rouge's boobies because they are now boyfriend and girlfriend and it's allowed to do it. Have your friends beg on your behalf. They're the best wingmen. Chapter 5, Preparations. All right. It was the end of the day at school, and it was time that Sonic and Tails and Knuckles got back on the bus at the bus stop to board it all the way home from school. "We are on the bus now," said Tails. "No more classes." Tails was happy but sad because he is smart. Sonic and Tails sat down together, and Knuckles sat right in the middle of the aisle, which he usually did not do, but sometimes did when not everyone was on the bus. It looked like Espio and Rouge were not on the bus because they were too busy getting ready to go sex tonight now that they are boyfriend and girlfriend. Knuckles laid across the aisle even more stretched out than when he just sat across 2 seats because now the limits were the Alpha and the Omega. "How can we help Espio?" said Sonic to Tails. Tails responded, "I don't know," and thought about it on the bus. The bus drove bumpy on the bumpful roads all the way home, and then they all got out at the bus stop that normally got in the bus at just like always. I feel like I just had a stroke. Sonic ran out of the bus and then Tails and Knuckles in order. "Time to go home," said Tails. "We are almost there." And they walked the rest of the way home. When they got home, it was dinner time, and Sonic was at a different home than from Tails and Knuckles because they were all in different families, so they did not live together. And Sonic's mom made a dinner. Sonic's mom made Chinese food, and Sonic ate it, and at the end there was a fortune cookie. And Sonic broke it open and ate the cookie part and kept the paper that was inside that held a magical fortune on it. Sonic looked at the fortune and read it to himself inside of his head. "The path to glory begins at the base of your friend's penis," said Sonic inside of his head, reading the fortune cookie paper, and he knew it was a good sign for what was about to happen tonight when Espio and Rouge went to sex. Then the phone rang. Sonic ran to the phone and picked it up and said hello into it. What the hell? "Hey, bees." Yeah, every sentence is a run-on. So there's no punctuation. I have no breaks for the reading. It's just always "Path to glory begins at the base of your friend's." All right, interesting. "You had the same fortune last night. It was Tails." "I have an idea," said Tails on the phone to Sonic, who was listening but not speaking. "I can give Espio my invisibility hat for that science competition, and he can use it to do sex for Rouge." Sonic's what? Sonic smiled so wide, like the king of fire finding out he burned down New York City with only his fire powers. All right, why does he need to be invisible? They're cool with it. It's gonna be. We're reading Sonic High School. Sonic and Tails went to Espio's house later, which was not too easy to walk to normally for most people, but Sonic is super fast, so he ran there and helped Tails get there too, seeing as Tails is not as fast as Sonic. They knocked on the house, and Espio came out of the door. "Here's my invisibility hat that you can use with Rouge tonight to make sex in. It makes it impossible to see and impossible to hear you when you are wearing the hat, or when someone who is wearing the hat wants you to also be impossible to see and impossible to hear," screamed Tails, whose voice was a little hoarse from ordering food with the lunch lady whose hearing was lost in an earthquake in her childhood. Tails had to say the things he wanted so loud that she would still say, "What?" and Tails wondered why she even had ears if she wasn't going to use them. Espio grabbed the invisibility hat from Tails' hands and said, "Cool, thanks," and kept going, so Sonic and Tails left and wished him luck from far away at their own homes. Nothing but a hat. Yeah, I want to see the lunch lady come back. We got lore. Back at home, Sonic thought it would be good that Espio would get sex into Rouge so then he could explain it to Sonic, and Sonic would know how to find Amy's sex spots even better, because otherwise he would have to read about it online because all he knew about was kissing, which wasn't really sex, but it was probably kind of the same thing. And Sonic would just read about it online before talking about it anyway, and he would know the right words for the things then. Ah, he wants to know how to sex her. Sonic sat on his chair that was in front of his Sonic computer and opened up Sonic Instant Messenger and messaged Amy, who was doing the same thing but at her home, and said, "Hey Amy, want to finally become true boyfriend and girlfriend by reaching sex this weekend?" Sonic waited for a long time at his computer, and it seemed like Amy was not there because she did not respond to anything. Sonic played games online and beat all the final bosses because he was like an alien sent to Earth to destroy records sent by others. Then finally Amy responded. What Amy said was, "No way!" Sonic was so shocked his brain must have felt like a total idiot. Everything is Sonic. Sonic is the main dude. Uh-oh. Oh no! Oh no! Chapter 6, Espio and Rouge, contains the worst sex scene ever written. Oh my gosh. All right, this might be a little not safe for work, but we'll make it work with what we're given. You know what? I gotta add a tag for this. All right. Probably, you know, let me add not safe for work. I don't want anyone coming into this that should not be coming into this. All right. Yeah, this is not safe for work chat. I'm in it, and now I've got to go through with it. SBO walked to Rouge's house because it was time for their date together, and all SBO could think about was that they were about to make sex for the first time. SBO looked at the computer and read about what to do and what the right words were so he would know how it works and how to say it right so no one would make fun of him. It was Rouge's house he was at now, and it was in front of him. SBO knocked Rouge's house door. I hope she's home, said SBO, and she was. She opened the door just then. Hello, I'm home, said Rouge, looking always sexy in her tiny baby bra and big cool boobs. SBO thought she looked like the hottest woman in the world that he could see from here. Where are you taking me on our date tonight? Whispered Rouge in a sex-filled voice. SBO, I feel like I gotta add more to that, but I don't know how. SBO had just thought this one over on the way over so he could say it right the first time and get her to do what he wanted. That's sex. Well, said SBO, just let me put on the science hat. We'll begin sex. Rouge looked shocked, but she probably was excited too. Oh no, Miyu. I don't know if I'm gonna read all of this detailed. Miyu, someone sent me Sonic fanfiction. Man, oh man, I feel like this happens with everybody I collab with. They come in when I'm doing heinous shit on stream. Okay. Rouge looked shocked, but she probably was excited too. SBO could tell they both had an erection. What? Said Rouge in a shocked way. Right here? SBO said, yes, this hat was made by Tails specifically for our date. It makes it impossible to see and impossible to hear while I'm wearing it. SBO did a cool face at her because being smart can be cool too, as long as you're not a nerd ass. Rouge said, okay, let's go inside, and gently grabbed SBO's hand, but he pulled it back and she fell, causing him to fall, and they both together fell onto the grass where they rolled around in it until they were about in the middle of Rouge's house front lawn, so there was plenty of room around them for activities. Go inside. Don't do this outside. No, said SBO. I want to make sex in you right here. And SBO put on the invisibility hat so no one could see or hear them. Oh, they're both invisible. And a whole new world of possibilities were optioned to them so they could do sex in whatever way they wanted, and it was time to start sex right now. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's okay. We'll give them their privacy. I will read bits from it that I think are entertaining. Okay. SBO's penis was really big from looking at Rouge like when he was in church, and it is so boring, but you just get a boner anyway. His penis looked like a plane flying down to the airport, but instead of being full of businessmen, it was full of SBO's creamy Italian salad dressing. Yeah, we're not supposed to know what they're doing. Let's see. Anything else? Anything else? Anything else? All right. He put it in her belly button? Oh. Okay, now that they were done doing sex, they put their penis and vagina and balls away, and SPO took off the invisibility hat. It was like nothing ever happened, but they both know it did because they were there for it. Bye-bye, said SPO, and SPO walked off her property and away to his house and did the rest of his things until school happened the next day. Okay. Who? 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 Oh, man. Well, all right, let's continue. No, wait. We had front sex. This is chapter 7. Whispered also the I don't know. Whispered SPO at the people at his lunch table. SPO was at school in the lunchroom and also was Tails and Knuckles and Charmy Bee and Vector too. I ejaculated. But you haven't done that. They had not done that. Wow, cool. You were the coolest after Sonic, said Tails, who was right there, so he didn't have to shout. It was good not to shout because this was supposed to be a secret. Tails did not hear the whole school talking about SBO's penis and balls, like with Sonic in Chapter 1, but in a different way, sex. Who's Vector? I don't know, you gotta think of another boy voice. Yeah, speaking of Sonic, where is that gay bag? Said Vector, who was the captain of the school's football team. This is the early 2000s. They use this word liberally. Gay. Vector was good at this because he was big and strong and had sharp teeth under his mouth. Just kidding, said Vector. Sonic is cool. I don't know, said Tails to Vector. Where Sonic was somewhere else trying to find Amy, who was not at lunch. Sonic was knocking on Amy's door at her house. Are you home? Said Sonic. Are you home? It was like Amy was not home because she was not opening the door. Sonic was worried about Amy because she was his only girlfriend, even if she denied his sex offer. So he ran into the door and barged it down like it was made of nothing. Sonic was now in Amy's house. Amy's house was really pink because that was Amy's color. Sonic looked around Amy's house for Amy, but Sonic could not find anyone. Sonic finally went to Amy's bedroom and opened the door up. What Sonic saw next was what he did not expect. Oh, this happened twice. Amy was there, tied up. Oh my god. Oh, wait. Okay. I had to read ahead to make sure. Anyway, Amy was there, tied up on her bed with a thing in her mouth so she couldn't talk. Sonic did a scream, "Oh no!" and ran over to Amy, who was looking at her with tears in her eyes. She looked so sad and starved, like, oh, African kids. Sonic untied Amy and she sat up and cried into Sonic's arms. It was awful, said Amy. He came into my room in the evening and tied me up on this bed and messed up the things in my room. Amy was right. Her room looked messy. So get a maid, said Sonic, always thinking about a solution to problems. Who tied you up? Who was it? Be calm, Amy. Calm down and talk. Oh, who tied it up? Who was it? Be calm, Amy. Calm down and talk to me. Sonic patted Amy on the back to help her. Uh-oh. It was Shadow. I saw him outside his house next door with a machine gun and a sword, going in his house to kill his mom, and he saw me. He knew I saw him, so he tied me up like a brigand. Amy said all of this. Sonic was shocked that Amy said this to him. He remembered now in the other part when Shadow said he was going to kill his mom, but no one thought about it more than once because Shadow was always a bad guy. What they didn't realize was that Shadow was serious. Okay, was it him also who said you would not have sex with me on Sonic Messenger? Said Sonic to Amy. Yes, I did not talk to you then, spoke Amy back to Sonic. So how do you really feel about it? Asked Sonic, whose brain was now humming with sex ideas. Shit, I don't know, said Amy, still all worked up. Give me a day. Right now, let's get things right. So Sonic and Amy went back to school where everyone else was besides them. Sonic and Amy saw SPO walking around between a lot of other people. Hey, here you are, said SPO to Sonic and Amy. I had sex with, how do I do his voice? Oh yeah, I had sex with Rouge last night. Do not tell everyone, said SPO. There's so many voices. Oh, that's right, you did. I almost forgot. Hear that, Amy? And Amy was like, yep, you gotta tell me all about it later so I know what to do to Amy, said Sonic, and then turned around. Sonic heard a sound coming from down the hallway where someone was coming. It was a really fat guy that looked so huge to him. The fat guy got closer and closer until they could see who it was, and it was Rouge. Whoa, you were so fat now, said SPO. What's that about? Rouge looked mad and surprised at Espio. Well, you got me pregnant, said Rouge. Oh my god, thought Sonic to himself without saying it with voice. She is pregnancy fat. This means she will have a baby. Amy was smiling for real to Rouge. That's so nice. I hope you have a great baby, said Amy. Sonic tried to be a good boyfriend and said, Hope your baby's cool, and smiled. Espio looked more worried than everybody else. So am I going to be your baby's dad? Said Espio, worried and excited both. Better believe it, said a voice that sounded just like Shadow's. Yeah. Interesting choice of language there. Shadow, no, you can't say that, Shadow. Chapter 8, things change. Shadow, Sonic shouted. It was Shadow, there. Surprised to see me, said Shadow. We know what you did to your mother. Oh, we know what you did to your mother, screamed Amy like a crazy man. It was... Shadow cut her off and did not let her finish saying the sentence. You did not see anything. I am Shadow, and I know how to commit crimes. You think I've not killed a person before? I have. Shadow crossed his arms and sneered at Amy, looking at her. But I saw you. Then Amy said, You saw nothing. I stopped you, Shadow said. It doesn't matter. You were on your way inside your house to kill your mom, said Amy. Amy shook around because she was all nervous and her smaller than Rouge's but still good boobs wiggled a little, and Sonic thought it was cool to see and he wanted to support her. I did not kill my mom. I was going in my house to protect her from Dr. Eggman, Shadow said. Ah, okay, said Sonic and Espio went to class because it started and they are still in the high school hallway. He's trying to ship my Ultra Chaos Emerald shards to space so we could collect them in his egg space station, said Shadow to Amy in an explaining way. What is this fanfic? Sonic High School. Welcome to the stream, my friend. It's a bit of a ride. We gotta do something about him. I understand that you had a reason to tie me up, but do not kill your mother, responded Amy. I was only kidding because the other guys were all being too important about themselves, and I do not think that it is a good quality for high school students to be. High school students should be nice and caring and not talk about themselves like they're the best, because that will only make us all assholes, which isn't what we should be trying to be, Shadow said to Amy, and she understood that he was a good guy and had a reason for tying her up on a bed even if he had bad times when he was dark and did crimes in the cityscape. They both went to class in different directions, so the conversation ended. The invisible public intercourse scene. Later after school, Sonic went on Sonic Messenger and talked to Espio. Hey, Espio, how are you? Do you know what you're gonna do about being for Rouge's baby? He said into the computer. Listen, Sonic, this is hard for me to say, said Espio into the computer, which went across the internet to Sonic. I want to get Rouge to get an abortion. Sonic was upset because Rouge's baby would not survive it. In fact, Rouge's baby would die. There has to be another way, Espio, said Sonic in Sonic Messenger. But if you really want to do it, that's okay because it's your decision. Good, because I want you to help me. I'm going to Rouge tomorrow at school and slip her the abortion pill in one of her meals. You will help me by distracting her from me? Okay, see you then, said Sonic. The next day happened and Sonic was at lunch. Oh my gosh! I won the science competition, but you didn't come. Sonic, said Tails in a sad, mad way. I wanted you to come because I am such a good friend to you, but you did not. But I won anyway without you. Tails was mad at Sonic, which did not usually happen because they were best friends. Wow, sorry, Tails. I was so busy and I did not know, Sonic trying to make Tails happy again. Kiss my ass, dick, screamed Tails to Sonic and flew out the room with his flying tails. This is awful, said Sonic. He's my best friend. Sonic knew this was a big problem, but changed his mind thinking about Rouge and Espio, and then went over to where Rouge was going to get the abortion pill from Espio. Vector was there too, which was weird because he usually was not. Okay, Espio, are you ready? Said Sonic only to Espio. Espio shook his head yes. Hey, Rouge, how are you doing today? How was class? Did you have lots of homework? What are you eating for lunch? Sonic said to Rouge to distract her from Espio. Looks like Sonic did it perfectly because while he was asking these things, Espio put the abortion pill in Rouge's salad. Rouge ate salads because she is thin. Rouge answered the questions, but no one was paying attention because they were now glad it was done. Oh, what is this? Said Rouge, suddenly looking like a shocked woman. What? What's wrong? Asked Espio. He was worrying that Rouge found the abortion pill in her salad and was looking at it. I think I'm having my baby. Here it comes. Rouge said this before she could even eat the abortion pill, so everyone knew the baby was coming for real. Oh no, said all of them together but Rouge. Rouge lied down on the ground and they put a curtain around her so no one could really see what was going on because it was gonna be gross. They could see a baby start to come out of her butt and it was crying a lot. Everyone wanted the baby to shut up already because they were just trying to have lunch, but now there is a baby coming out in the lunchroom at high school. Mrs. Lesson, who was also the school nurse, said, I don't know how I did her voice. Get out of my way, kids. I have to help this baby get out of Rouge. Babies are too weak to do this by themselves. That's Eggman. No, it's like kind of like Eggman's voice. No, it's been like 3 days. Mrs. Lesson went behind the curtain and helped pull the baby out of Rouge's butt, and it was still crying. Could you believe it? Rouge was exhausted from her baby, but Mrs. Lesson was not. Mrs. Lesson held the baby in her hands while it was still crying and held it out to everyone. Look at it, said Mrs. Lesson. Rouge's baby was red and had long hair and big white fists. It's Knuckles' baby! It's not Espio's, that's Knuckles' kid. She cheated. No. A bunch of babies! Oh no. Rouge's baby continued to do crying louder than a monster truck. Sonic looked at the baby really close. Hey, Espio, said Sonic. Aren't babies supposed to look like you? Rouge's baby doesn't look like you, but looks like someone else I know. Sonic rubbed his chin and thought about who it was that it looked like. Yeah, Espio, Rouge's baby looks like Knuckles. Oh. Yeah, Espio, Rouge's baby looks like Knuckles, said Vector. Cool, I'm gonna go tell him. Vector ran like a crocodile would to find Knuckles to tell him what he said. Rouge was still on the ground, looking all tired and sore, and Miss Lesson was rubbing her butt because it was hurting from the baby that came out when she gave birth to her baby. This dang baby was still crying. Espio looked worried about it. You guys are right. Why does not that baby look like me? Espio went over to Miss Lesson, who was holding the baby still, and looked at it closer and could not see himself in the baby. This does not make sense, said Espio to the baby. Just then, Vector came out of the door, and there was Knuckles too, huffing and puffing and looking surprised. Knuckles went right to Rouge and looked at the baby. Waggo, he said, making the sound when he saw the baby, Rouge's baby that looked like him. The baby was still crying. What is wrong with you? Yelled Knuckles at Rouge. Why did you go and have a baby? Now I gotta be your dad. He kept yelling at her with the maddest feelings. Knuckles thought about his horoscope that he read this morning, and it said, your biggest fear will come true, so you better watch out. Now he knew what that meant. It was about Rouge's baby, because Knuckles did not want this responsibility. It was harder than having a dog. Yep. Rouge was tired, and Rouge's baby was crying, but Rouge was crying and scared of Knuckles' volcano rage and said, I'm sorry. It was supposed to be Espio's baby. I'm sorry it wasn't because he would not treat me like this. What Rouge said sent Knuckles into the next level of anger. He turned even redder and looked at Espio. You tried to have a baby with her? Rouge is mine. You are not allowed. Knuckles charged to Espio, but Vector held him back. Sonic thought, Vector, why would he bring him here if he just knew he was going to cause trouble? Espio said, what? I did not know. You are not boyfriend and girlfriend. Espio seemed scared, but still kind of calm. We are, but it was a secret. Now you have to pay. Knuckles kept trying to get at Espio, but Vector was holding him back, and thank goodness Vector was here because he was the captain of the football team and could restrain him like a crocodile seatbelt that could also talk to you. Knuckles could not get him so he said, tomorrow we'll fight. Meet me in the hallway at the end of the school and prepare me to beat on your ass, shit man. Knuckles stormed out of the lunchroom and went away. Rouge's baby stopped crying and said, "No, come..." What's a baby voice? You know what? Here's the voice of the baby. "No, come back. You don't have to fight SBO." But it was too late because Knuckles was so gone by then. Rouge patted her baby on the head and said, "You should go to sleep and get your rest, baby. You are probably tired." So Rouge's baby went to sleep and was finally quiet. SBO tried his best to look like a big tough guy and not panic, but he was secretly scared and went back to doing what he was doing before this baby thing happened. So did Sonic too. Thank you. I'm glad you like the baby voice. I don't know why anything's happening. The rest of the school and getting home from school happened. Sonic did not see Tails or Knuckles for any part of it. Tails was still mad at Sonic. Sonic took out his Sonic phone on the way home and called his girlfriend Amy. Everything goes fast in the Sonic universe, yeah. "Hey, Amy, so did you decide if you wanted sex?" said Sonic. "You know," said Amy, "Sonic, I'm just too stressed out and nervous by everything going on at high school. Things are so crazy." "Damn," said Sonic and hung up the phone and finished getting home. Sonic thought he would never be true boyfriend and girlfriend with Amy at this rate. It was almost like she had a second boyfriend that Sonic did not know about, and that was why Amy did not want sex from Sonic. You know what? I bet you the kid is going to attend with the parents. Sonic had dinner and then thought about his friends. SBO and Knuckle were both his friends, but they were intending to fight. What could Sonic do? Sonic figured that they are still both his friend, but he would go visit SBO because he was not the one who said to fight and because Knuckles had spikes on his hands and that would make it hard to beat him in a fight. Sonic went to SBO's house. "Ding dong," said SBO's doorbell, and Sonic waited at the door. SBO showed up at the door and opened it. "Hey Sonic, thanks for coming," said SBO to Sonic. "You gotta help me prepare for this fight. We can start by learning how to get rid of puncture wounds." I was trying not to look nervous to Knuckles, but actually I was. "Also, did you hear about Charmy Bee?" "Nope, I did not hear," said Sonic back to SBO. "Oh. Knuckles kidnapped him and is threatening to hurt him if I don't show up to fight him tomorrow, so I have to, especially now, because the gods will crush my soul, even if Charmy Bee is an annoying idiot loser," said SBO then back to Sonic. I don't know, it seems to really not like Charmy Bee. I don't even know who that is. Alright. "Oh no, that's really bad," said Sonic. Sonic knew this now had to happen too, because his morals were probably the best ever. He did not know Knuckles would stoop to such a mean thing. Sonic and SBO then walked into SBO's house and up the stairs to SBO's bedroom. "Our other friend is in here too," said SBO just as he was opening the door to his bedroom. SBO finished opening the door and there was Tails, who was standing in SBO's room. The moment Tails saw Sonic, his face turned into a salad of anger, the devil, and lava. Wow. Who is Charmy Bee? Let's see. Oh. It's, hold on, I'm pulling up a picture. It's this. That's our character. I think I voiced him like I thought it was a girl just based on the name. The flashbang of a bee. Boom. Alright. So this is chapter 10, and total in this, there's 35 chapters, so I might finish off of this chapter here and then move on to another thing, and then we can continue this. It's very long. Oh, you only saw it for one frame? Oh. What? Here. Can you see it now? Why is it not showing up? Oh wait, I have to make it small, don't I? Here. How's that? Because now it's in front of the screen, so you should be able to see it, right? You still can't see it. Damn. Well. Damn. There's nobody there, Eliza. The voices. Alright. So this was originally supposed to be the final chapter, so this will be end of part 1 of this reading. It's called Chapter 10, Two Different Fights. Author's note, I was going to make this the last chapter, but everyone just loves it. My brain keeps exploding with new ideas, so I'm going to continue Sonic High School for some longer time and make more chapters. You got the vibe from the flashbang? There you go. That's the important thing, right? Why are you here? Screamed Tails with the anger of a million angry birds. Sonic was shocked because Tails was his best friend, and Tails was smart, but Tails was super pissed at Sonic for not coming to the science competition, even though they were best friends. Sonic moved his mouth, but words didn't come out because he did not know what to say. Sonic was a mixture of mad and sad and frustrating because he did not know what he could do to get Tails to be his friend again. Times like this, Sonic thought about Amy's fine body because it set his mind at ease. At ease! At ease! I just saw the hydration check like 40 minutes ago. Are Tails and Amy fricking? Who knows? Maybe. We're gonna find out. I am here for my friend, said Sonic. Our friend, Espio. We are still friends too, Tails. You were just too mad to see that. I know what I see, said Tails, kind of screaming. I am so smart! Espio tried to get in between them, even though it was his house that they were in right now, and said, guys, please, let's just make sure I can fight Knuckles and not get owned. Sonic and Knuckles ignored Knuckles for the moment and continued to be in a fuss. I'm so sorry, bro. I don't understand. What can I do to make our friendship the best one ever once again? Said Sonic to Tails. Tails wiggled his two tails and looked to the side in a thinking way. I don't know, said Tails to Sonic. But you know what? Here, take this. Tails took out a blue book from a spot and threw it on the ground in front of Sonic. It was what it was when Sonic looked at it. It was Sonic's journal. Sonic didn't go to Tails' science competition because he was too busy watching Rouge give birth. So he missed it. What? How did you get this? Said Sonic to Tails. I gave this to Miss Lesson before she read about my balls problem. Oh my gosh. I lied. I did not go to the science competition that night. I still went to school, but instead of going to the science competition, I used my science hat of invisibility to sneak into Miss Lesson's room and get your journal. I wanted to get your journal so no one else could read your business and see your gay ball problems that I know you still have, even though you think you were getting better. I was going to give it back to you, but you were not there at the competition like you should have been. Even though I am such a good friend to you, even now, when I could have been reaching my moment of genius, I was doing a thing for you because I want you to be happy, Tails said to Sonic with a voice of emotion. Oh my gosh. You're getting a pecan pie from a halal place to honor my sacrifice. Tell me how it is. It's my favorite pie. I love pecan pie. How does Tails know so much about Sonic's problem? He was there when Mrs. Lesson read his journal page out and talked about Sonic's ball problem. Sonic did not know what to say. High school drama was so insane to be a part of. Sonic picked up his journal and felt like he was going to cry because he was being an asshole jerk to his best friend who was only trying to make him happy. Tails, you did not have to do this, finally said Sonic, respondingly. What matters is that I did, said Tails, and also that you did not care for my special day because you were too busy trying to be true boyfriend and girlfriend with Amy. Goodbye, Sonic, said Tails right before he flew out of Espio's bedroom window with his flying tails, and then he did. This is so sad. I feel like I'm gonna cry. I'm getting emotional, guys. This is so shitty, said Espio to Sonic, who was now the only other person in his bedroom. I still have to fight Knuckles tomorrow, but your different kind of fight with Tails is just as crazy. Oh, that's the second fight. That is for me to figure out with Tails, said Sonic. Let's get back to making sure you cannot be defeated by Knuckles. Sonic and Espio spent all night in Espio's bedroom reading books and watching videos about fighting and learning how to be the best at it. By the time the night was over, Espio was ready to face Knuckles. They went to the school on this new day. And school happened and was over, and now they were in the hall, where Knuckles said to meet him to fight. There was a crowd of people around him that included Sonic, who looked worried, Rouge, who looked worried and with her baby, and Vector, who was smiling. Also in the crowd was Tails, and with him, Cream the Rabbit, who was Charmy Bee's girlfriend. Cream was a little woman and pretty smart, but not as smart as Tails. Her boobs were smaller than both Amy's and Rouge's, but they were still high quality in their own way. It is surprising to most people, oh man, that Charmy was even allowed to have a girlfriend, but it just goes to show you that the impossible is not what you think it is. Then Espio jumped over the crowd into the middle where Knuckles was. Alright. So you decided to come anyway, said Knuckles, even though you know your ass is going to get torn up by my moves. I do not want to fight you, Knuckles, said Espio to Knuckles, but I'm doing this for Charmy and Rouge. I'm doing this for Charmy because you kidnapped him, and Rouge because you do not respect her baby. Then let's do this, said Knuckles. Knuckles charged at Espio with his fists like an elephant running at a hunter trying to kill him for his powers, but Espio jumped out of the way and onto the wall like a pro jumper, which he learned how to do last night. Espio jumped at Knuckles with a kick move, and Knuckles punched at his foot, and they met with a purple and red explosion of power that knocked them both back. They continued to jump around and attack each other, and they did this for a while. It was difficult to watch for everyone. Rouge was in the crowd with her baby. This is so difficult to watch, said Rouge. Violence should not be a solution to conflict, said Rouge's baby, peeking out between his hands. You are right. Why do people do this like this? I hate it, said Rouge to Rouge's baby. Rouge had become a different person since she had her baby. She used to only be sexy, but now Rouge was sexy and matronly. Yes, fuck this evil world, said Rouge's baby. Rouge then revealed her boob to her baby and had him eat from it as a baby would do. Rouge's baby thought this was the best part about being a baby because not everyone would get cool boobs like this delivered to them on their doorstep like a milkman. Babies did not have much to worry about anyway, so Rouge's ace boobs made paradise a reality for baby. I have a feeling, said Rouge's baby. You should lie down and relax. So Rouge lied down on her back and the fight continued to go on. Alright, so we're looking at chapters. Knuckles and Espio were both bloody and gross looking, like two waiters who were holding messy foods and then walked into each other, causing the meals to launch into the air and then fall down on them and ruin the nice clothes they got from the store. They were breathing hard and were tired, but they kept going, jumping and kicking and punching and running. It looked like two people doing a dance, but hitting each other also. Knuckles kicked his feet out at Espio, but Espio jumped up and dodged them and came back down and hit Knuckles in the mouth and knocked him onto the floor/ground. Is this enough yet? Are we done? Shouted Espio to Knuckles. How will this ever end? Knuckles looked up from the ground at Espio standing over him. Knuckles had a Twinkie in his eye as he looked up at Espio and crawled towards him. Espio did not do anything but watch him and feel dangerous. Come closer, said Knuckles in a whisper voice, so Espio bent down and put his face to Knuckles. Knuckles looked up and down Espio's sweaty purple body and into his eyes and said, I respect you, and then grabbed his face as gentle as a deer and kissed him on the mouth. When Knuckles kissed him, he did it extra hard, sometimes with his eyes shut and sometimes looking into Espio's deep yellow eyes that looked like a circus of loving men. Their tongues met in the middle of their mouths like two chicken cutlets that were acting like cats that loved each other. When Espio was watching fighting videos last night, he was not expecting that he was going to have to do kissing too, but he liked it. They went on kissing for a full minute while everyone watched, wondering if they were done fighting or just taking a break to kiss. Finally, the back part of Knuckles' body began to lift off the ground while his mouth was still making out with Espio. Eventually, the power became so strong that his mouth was removed from Espio and their spit was like a shiny extension cord that connected an appliance to a wall outlet. Knuckles then began to glow while floating in the air and the whole place became a little windy. On the side, Tails said to Cream, Wow, I know what this is. This is a rare moment of science we'll never see probably again in a lifetime or ever. It's called a body donation, and it was invented by Einstein. It is when someone reaches a moment of such powerful love that they can choose to restart their lives as part of the person they love. Einstein invented this by making his wife love him so much one night during a romance pasta dinner that she became a baby that was like him. But then he killed his wife, the baby, because he thought it was too dangerous to have her live on in the world without testing it in a laboratory first. it is a fact that if it looks like magic, it is not magic. It is science, so deal with it. Knuckles glided on the wind forward through the crowd of people in front of him and into Rouge's mouth, where he disappeared into. It was a good thing Rouge's baby had premonitions and told her to lie down, as then Knuckles did a U-turn in Rouge's sex-filled body and came out of her butt as a newborn baby that looked like Espio. This was all science. Well, chat, you can confirm this is science? Are you pleased with this? Is this what you wanted from me? I don't know. Where does it go from here? Tune in next time to find out in part 2 of Sonic High School fanfiction reading. Chomp chomp.